Well, welcome to another edition of Bowl Fast Talk Straight preview show for today's game, Australia versus Sri Lanka. Two teams who won the first game, looking, reasonably decent order, and won a fascinating game, which won both sides will be desperate to win in the group of death. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a review. Well, this is going to be a fascinating game in Group 1. Australia, who have got a great pace attack, fantastic pace attack that players, the majority of them play multi-formats, test match, and 50 over 2020 cricket. Australia are a side who haven't played a lot of cricket in competition in recent past. During the pandemic, there was a group of players went over to the West Indies. Not many of the big guns went. Not many of the big guns went back to the IPL. So I predicted Australia will get to the semi-final. I still believe they will. And that largely down to, I think they'll get better as the tournament goes on. Where Sri Lanka have been, they've been a side in turmoil. England came over to England, had players sent home, talking about banning players, good players, for a large period of time, but got off to a good start against Bangladesh in the first game. I think it was in Sharjah, where they managed to get 171. I think it was with relative ease. So it's going to be a tough test for Australia's top order batsmen because they like the ball coming onto the bat. Sri Lanka's spin options are very, very good, very, very deadly. When you look at Dhananjaya, can they get him in the side? I personally would. I think against Australia, the footwork of the Australian batsmen, especially the top order batsmen, I think that's where you could get the game starting in your favour. I think what we've seen so far in this tournament is the power play is largely determines whether you're going to win or lose the game. If you get off to a good start in the power play, we've seen teams like England 50 for 1 dominate the power play, Pakistan dominate the power play, but other sides who have had a struggle. When India lost, when we seen Bangladesh the other day 27 for 3, even Scotland yesterday, you're looking at sides that lose 2 or 3 wickets, don't get many runs on the board, always playing catch up. Well, that's the thing how Sri Lanka will go with their spin option. 4, possibly 5 overs of spin inside the power play against the big power hitters of Warner, Finch, Marsh, and obviously not as much power in Smith. But I think that's where Sri Lanka, I think, stand a chance of winning the game. On the other hand, Australia, well, I look at that side and I think it's a very, very well-balanced side. The question mark from it's not a weakness point of view. The question mark is the balance of their team and getting enough overs in because Stoinis of injury. The pace attack that Australia have is massive. The 3 guys on your screen there, Stark, Hazelwood, Cummins, multi-format players for Australia. Very experienced characters now. Just bear in mind that Mitchell Stark did come off injured I think 2 nights ago in a warm-up in the nets. I think he must have trod on a ball, rolled his ankle, Glenn McGrath style, 2005. And whether Mitchell Stark will be fit for this contest or not, I think Australian fans will be waiting and holding their breath because that is a very, very good bowling unit. You throw in Adam Zampa, and this is where the conundrum for Australia is, because they'd love Marcus Stoinis to be their 5th bowler with a little bit of Glenn Maxwell, a little bit of Mitch Marsh if he's fit. But the question mark is whether Stoinis's body will hold up. It didn't really hold up too well in the IPL, and I think his batting is too much. I think it's too much to gamble with by letting him bowl, because if he does bowl and his body does decide that it is going to pack up, then he would be a huge miss if he had to miss games at the bottom end with Maxwell and Stoinis coming in at 5 and 6 to sort of just just finish the innings off, whether it's setting the target or trying to put when they're chasing the target, needing runs, lower order runs right at the very end. So I think all in all, it's going to be a great contest. I think there might be some nerves in there because I think both teams will still be trying to feel themselves out in the tournament on the surface in the conditions that they find themselves in. But I think the team that wins this game could be the ones that do challenge England to go in with the eliminator into that semi-final spot. In this group, I think Bangladesh showed that I think they're more or less out of it. I look at the West Indies, who have been a bit of a shambles. I think they're more or less out of it, and whether South Africa can come back from their first defeat in the tournament will remain to be seen. But if Australia can manage to win this game, which if my predictions are correct, which are that the Wolves finish in a semi-final spot, I believe Australia will win this contest, and that will put them a long way of getting closer to England into that semi-final spot, and it makes it a massive game come Saturday. If Australia win this, England against Australia on Saturday. So all mouth-watering ways of looking things. I think it'll be a good game, and I can't wait to see what the end result is, because if Australia win, which I think they will, then I think it makes for a fantastic game, the old enemy on Saturday, England versus Australia. So fingers crossed for a good contest. Hope you've enjoyed the little preview. We'll see you again in the next few days. From me, thanks very much. If you don't, just remember to like, subscribe, and leave a review.